direction. Notice a few things as we get into this. Notice, skip down to verse 36 through verse number 39. But of the day and hour know no man, no not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. He went into the ark. But notice what they were doing. They were eating and drinking, married and giving in marriage. Is that not what we're about? We're a society about eating and partying and relationships. How many people would be married more than 2 times? I'm not talking about a spouse dying, but they'll be married more than 2 times in their life. And it's not uncommon to find them now married as many as 3 or 4 times. But life is a party to them. Marrying and giving in marriage. Everything they do is a party atmosphere. Everything they do is, you know what, it's going to be better. The party is better. The life is better. It's grander. It's all of these things that we want it to be. We're chasing the bright lights. We're there, people. I can't believe one of the most popular people among American tourists is Las Vegas. Why in the world do I want to go to a place and let them take all my money so I can turn around and thumb my way back home? People love going there. They tell you, oh, it's the shows, it's this, it's that, and the other. What's the nickname of Las Vegas?
Sin City.
What in the world does a Christian have doing in a place named Sin City? Why? Can you tell me why they would be there? Oh, I forgot. It's the worldly kind of sin. They embrace it. It's all right to go in to the bar and take a few. It's all right to go into the bar and enjoy the bright lights. Go to the clubs. I could just see Jesus Christ going to Sin City. I would love to see the Apostle Paul go there. If there was ever a place that deserved the Apostle Paul, it's Vegas. You know what another popular tourist place in America is? San Francisco. What's San Francisco known for? Purity, wickedness. Another one is New York City. What's it known for? Purity, wickedness. If you notice, I'm not naming a place that's wholesome and good. Nobody wants to take a week's vacation and go to a place to work in a mission that God can get the honor and glory. No. What they want to do is go to where sin runs up and down the streets. Because sin has saturated us to the point that we embrace it. And that's the problem. The days of Noah. Let me give you the main thought of the days of Noah real quick. Go to Genesis chapter 6 and look at verse number 5. And God saw that the wickedness of men was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thought of his heart was only evil continually. So when these people stopped and their mind drifted, It went right to wickedness. Isn't that about where we are today? We chase wickedness. It's the imagination and intent of our heart. It's the driving force of our life. People would have us to believe that everyone is like that. I'm here to tell you right now, everyone is not. If there was 7,000 men in the days of Elijah that had not bowed a knee to Baal, there's more than 7,000 people in America that have not bowed a knee to the pagan idols and total, I don't know what you'd call it, foolishness that we see today. And we do some of this to ourselves, people. Had a guy this week, I'm talking to him, and he's sitting there and he talks like everybody else. Some words come out of his mouth that should not be coming out of his mouth. And he goes, yeah, the first thing I did when I moved back to this town is I found me a good church and started going to it. I thought, give me 5 minutes, I'd light the fire for you. But that's standard today. People think they can cuss and go to church. They can drink and go to church. They can lie and go to church. They can live just like the world. It shall not interfere in any way with their church service. But it does. In every aspect of our life. And that's the problem. That sin saturation has caused us to where we don't think about what we say, what we think, or what we do. Because it's a total saturation. Not only that, go to 2 Timothy chapter number 3. 2 Timothy chapter number 3. Look at verse number 1. He said, but this also know that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despiser of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. You see that horrible list. And the worst one is they have a form of godliness. And what are we told to do? From such turn away. We don't embrace, we leave. From such turn away. We know what they are. Don't let them cause us not to be the Christians God would have us to be. And that's the problem that we have to deal with. The world wants to change us. Because if we live like them, they don't feel convicted about what they are. But if we're right and we live for God, we convict them by our very presence. Notice in 2 Thessalonians chapter number 2, look down to verse number 7. He said, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. This mystery of iniquity, this saturation in the last days, it's already beginning and it's going to continue. Now, I'm going to tell you one of the things that happens. As the church gets colder with God, what's the first thing we lose? Our power with God. The power of the Holy Spirit of God in our life to do anything. If we lose the Holy Spirit of God, and that's the only thing that holds this complete saturation of the devil's iniquity he wants to bring in this earth, the more distance the church becomes, we're giving him a head start. As long as the church is true, the devil has to fight for all he can. But right now, people, the devil ain't fighting uphill, he's fighting downhill. He's a tank rolling downhill, taking everybody out with him. We need to understand, it already began to work in the days of Paul. In Paul fought it tooth toenail, the whole 9 yards. But we embrace it. We embrace it as a loving friend. Sad part of the reality is, and this is the worst part, you may be able to not drift into it, but your children will run right into it. That's the Mack truck that's coming. But I can be around them a little bit and it don't bother me and all this, and you can say that to yourself, but it's what it's going to do to your children. You know, I've heard people all the time, they talk about all the old daytime talk shows, and the more perverted the show was, the more they watched it. And they laughed about it and thought it was funny. Guess where all their children are now?